In the last class, we are discussing about the arrival of Europeans to India. After discovering a new sea route to India, who were the Europeans that came to India for the purpose of trade? Among them, we already know about the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the English. Portuguese were the first Europeans that arrived in India for the purpose of trade. After discovering a sea route to India by Vasco da Gama, they arrived to India. After securing the trade rights, the Francisco de Almeida arrived to India as a viceroy of Portuguese possessions in India. He has implemented the blue water policy. Later, Alfonso de Albuquerque was appointed as a viceroy. By defeating Bijapur Sultan, he made Goa was their trading administrative center. He captured Goa from Bijapur Sultan and made Goa was their colony. The Portuguese had established their political power in Goa. Later, they created their trading centers at Goa, Dayu, Daman, Sslc, Basin, Hooghly, and later in 1602, the United East India Company or the Dutch East India Company was formed. Like the Portuguese, the people of Holland Dutch also came to India in 1602 and they established their trading centers at Surat, Cambay, Broch, Kochi, Nagapatnam, Masulipatnam, Chinsur and other areas. But the Dutch, they did not stand for a longer time in India because at the same time the British and French that arrived to India, these Dutch were not able to compete with British and French, so they left India and they moved towards the other Asian Spices island. After that, the English or the British, in 1600, the English East India Company was formed. They secured the charter from Elizabeth I, Queen of England, Elizabeth I. So in 1613, they created their first trading center at Surat. They secured the trading rights from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Whereas in 1617, Sir Thomas Roe was appointed as a viceroy to the Mughal court. By this, the British company, they created their trading centers at Agra, Ahmedabad, Broch and other areas. Agra, Ahmedabad, Broch. Surat is the first trading center. After arrival of Sir Thomas Roe, they created their trading center at Ahmedabad, Broch and Agra. In 1639, the English took Madras from the king of Chandragiri and established a fort around the city of Madras called Fort St. George. They construct a fort at Madras, Fort St. George. Later, in 1668, they secured Bombay from Charles II of England. Charles II has given Bombay to the East India Company for a rent based on rent for £10 a year. Later it became the trading centers of British in India. In 1690, the British Company, they purchased the 3 villages on the bank of river Hooghly: Sutanati, Kalikata, Govindapura. Sutanati, Kalikata, Govindpura. These 3 villages were purchased by this company. Later they built a strong fort around these villages called Fort William. Fort William. So later, Calcutta emerged as an administrative center of British in India. During the period of 17th century, Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras that emerged as the presidencies of British in India. In the beginning, the British that are concentrate only on trade. Later, they also concentrate on politics. They want to expand their political empire in India. So Calcutta became an administrative center of British in India. Goa became an administrative center of Portuguese in India. Now we want to know about the French. The people of France we call as French. So like the Dutch, the British and the Portuguese, the French were also came to India for the purpose of trade. So in 1664, the French East India Company, French East India Company was formed. French East India Company was formed. They also secured the permission from the government of France and they came to India for the purpose of trade. They started their first trading center at Surat. The French also established their first trading center. Dutch first center Surat, British to Surat, French Surat. In 1668, the French established their first trading center at Surat. Later, the French established their trading centers or factories at Machilipatnam, Mahe, Karaikal, Chandranagur. The French established their trading centers at Mahe, Karaikal, Machilipatnam, Chandranagur, Basru. So later in 1674, the French company got Valikanandapuram. The French got Valikanandapuram from the local Muslim official. The French company got Valikanandapuram from a local official, a local administrative officer. From a local Muslim official, they got Valikanandapuram. Later, they developed one of the major trading center. So today it is called as Puducherry or Pondicherry. Today it is known as Pondicherry or Puducherry. Pondicherry or Puducherry. So it became an administrative centers of French in India. These are the trading centers of French. Surat. In 1664, the French East India Company was formed and they created the first trading center at Surat in 1668. Later, they extended their trading center at Machilipatnam, Mahe, Karaikal, Chandranagur, Basru. Later in 1674, they got Valikanandapuram from a Muslim official and later it became known as Pondicherry or Puducherry. Later it became an administrative center of French in India. Pondicherry or Puducherry. Today it became one of the Union territories of India. So in this way, the French that came to India in 1664 and they created the trading center. Later, DUPLEIX, duplex DUPLEIX, he came to India as a governor general or as a governor. He was a governor of French in India. ಈಗ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ವೈಸ್ರಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ತಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವಾಗ ದೇ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಗವರ್ನರ್. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂಪ್ಲೆ came to India as a governor of French or governor general. Governor or governor general of French. His name was Dupleix. He was the French governor general. When Dupleix came to India, he was a real founder of French power in India. Albuquerque is a real founder of Portuguese rule in India. In such a way, Dupleix was a real founder of French rule in India. He was a well-talented, ambitious politician. He wanted to create a French empire in India. He was the first governor who wanted to create a French empire in India. So he is ambitious to establish a French power in India. So, in this way, various European, Portuguese, Dutch, British, French, these Europeans that came to India for the purpose of trade, and later they want to dominate it in politics because the Indian trade, it has to earn more economy. By this economy, they want to got the political supremacy over India. It resulted the competition among these Europeans in India for their supremacy. But among the Portuguese, what happens? In 1580, Portugal merged with Spain. It lost its own independent existence. Then the Dutch, they left India. Later, the British and French were the main competitors of the Indian trade. So, we know that in Europe, we find a strong rivalry between the British and French. Like India, Pakistan, England and France. They fought many wars. They are economically, politically, they got superpower in the world in those days. Up to the Second World War, England and France, they are the superpowers of the world. So here, when Dupleix arrived India as a governor general of French, he wanted to create this political empire in India. It resulted in a strong competition between the French and English companies. Both the British and French companies, they want to politically dominate in Indian politics. So this competition, it resulted many wars. So we call as Carnatic Wars. The competition between British and French, it results many wars. We call as Carnatic War. After the withdrawal of Portuguese and Dutch from India, the British and French, they tried to disband the competition. During the 18th century, both British and French, they tried to show their supremacy in India. Both the companies, they want to strengthen their political power. They want to got supremacy over India. political situations were exploited by these companies. So both the companies, they are involved in politics of Carnatic. Carnatic is one of the kingdom, a small kingdom at present Tamil Nadu. So many political crises that took place in South India. At that time in South India, the Nizam of Hyderabad, he was one of the major rulers of South India, Nizams. Particularly after the decline of Mughals empire, after the death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal empire started declining. The successor of Aurangzeb become weak. The subordinates or provincial administrators of Mughal empire, they become an independent. Among them, the Nizam of Hyderabad, the Nawab of Bengal, the Nawab of Carnatic, they want to become an independent. You know that Hyderabad is one of the kingdom. It was founded by Asaf Jah in 1724. The Hyderabad kingdom created in 1724. Asaf Jah created Hyderabad kingdom. Whereas Dost Ali was the feudatory ruler of Nizam. ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಜ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸಾಮಂತ ರಾಜರು, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾವಿನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಆರ್ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಡೈನಾಸ್ಟಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಹೈರಾರ್ಕೀಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಮೊಘಲ್ಸ್ ಎಂಪೈರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಪ್ರಾವಿನ್ಸ್. ದಿ ಪ್ರಾವಿನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಪರಗಣ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ತಾಲೂಕು, ಹೋಬ್ಳೀಸ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ನಮಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಟರ್ಮಾಯಿಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ರೈವಲ್ರಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಇದು ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. Arcot was its capital. Hyderabad ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, Nizams of Hyderabad, Andhra, some part of Karnataka. ಈ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಟೆಡ್ ದಿ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಾರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಮತ್ತೇನಾದ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೀಗ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಾರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸಿ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. But we want to know the effects of Carnatic. So here both the British and French company, they are involved in politics of Carnatic. It resulted in 3 wars we called as Carnatic War. I try to summarize, not go detailing. First Carnatic 1746 to 48. In a first Carnatic, the French attacked Madras and captured it. At that time, the British tried to secure the support of Anwaruddin. Anwaruddin, he was the Nawab of Carnatic. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ದೋಸ್ತಾಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ನಂತರ ಮರಾಠಾಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ದೋಸ್ತಾಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಸನ್ ಈ ಸನ್ನಿಂದ ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್. At that time, Nizam of Hyderabad attacked Carnatic and made Anwaruddin. ಈಗ Carnatic, first Carnatic war ಅಲ್ಲಿ the ruler of Carnatic, Anwaruddin, he was the Nawab of Carnatic, Anwaruddin. So, the French military commander attacked Madras from British. At that time, British secured the support of Anwaruddin. So Anwaruddin ordered the French to vacate Madras, but the French refused his order. So by this, what happens? The war that broke out between the British and French. So in that, at that time, what happens? Under the treaty in England, the treaty broke out between England and France. Accordingly, in India also, the war ended. So the British get back Madras. It is the first Carnatic. Later, in second Carnatic, 1749 to 84. So in a changed circumstances of Hyderabad politics, the French had made supremacy over Hyderabad and the British got supremacy over Carnatic region. So at that time, Duke-Class, he made an alliance with the Nizam of Hyderabad. And Chanda Sahib, the second Carnatic, it is ತುಂಬಾ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗೋದು. ಸೊ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಸಮರೈಸ್ ಅಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಏನು ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ರೂಲರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷು ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚು ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್, ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್. ಇವ್ರು ಮೂವರು ಒಂದು ಅಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಇವ್ರು ಮೂವರು ಒಂದು ಅಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಮಸಿ. ದಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಮೆಡ್ರಾಸ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಯುರೋಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಟಿ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್, ಡ್ಯೂಕ್-ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್, ದೇ ಮೇಡ್ ಅನ್ ಅಲೈಯನ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ದಿ ನವಾಬ್ ಆಫ್ Arcot or Carnatic. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we find a competition between ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ and ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬರನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. So but in Hyderabad, later what happened, Nasir Jung was died. ಇಲ್ಲಿ Nasir Jung, Nizam of Hyderabad, was died. Later after his death, his son Nasir Jung and his grandson Muzaffar Jung, they become a competitors. Maga, Momaga, Nizamನ ಮಗ, ಇವನು ಮೊಮ್ಮಗ, ಮಗ. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವರನ್ನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಫೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬರನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ರೂಲರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿವೆಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡೈಡ್, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ಪವರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನೂ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ವರುದ್ದೀನ್ ಸನ್ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಅಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಅಲಿ, whereas the British gave shelter to Muhammad Ali at Tiruchinappalli. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಆರ್ಕಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಆದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಚಾಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಾಗ ನಂತರ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಾಗ ನಾಸಿರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾವನ್ನು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಂತರ ಇವು ಡೆತ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ನಂತರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇವರು ಮೂವರು ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಡ್ಯೂಕ್ಲೆ Chanda Sahib but Muzaffar Jang they attacked Muhammad Ali, but they failed to defeat. At the time Chanda Sahib was like the British made Muhammad Ali was the Nawab of Carnatic. So like second Carnatic ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಮಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಅಲಿ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಚು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ವಿಕ್ಟರಿ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ರು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ 50-50. ಇನ್ನು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ 1736 to 63 ಸಾರಿ 1756 to 63. So the French attempted to capture Vandivash in 1760, but in that battle what happened, Sir Irene Wood defeated the French. The English army led by Sir Irene Wood defeated the French in third Carnatic. So due to the third Carnatic, the French power started declining. What were the results or the effects of Carnatic? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ವಾರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸಮರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ ದಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್. ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ವಾರ್ both the British and French companies they got absolute political power in India. Due to third Carnatic, the French power start decline and the British got supremacy over the Indian politics. Is clear to us? Now we try to understand the leadership of the French and the English company. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ರು, they were mainly responsible for the creation of their empire in India. Among them we go to Robert Clive. What is Robert Clive? He joined the East India Company as an ordinary clerk. He came to India as a clerk in East India Company. Later, he has occupied the various posts in the company. So, he is a real founder of British power in India. Robert Clive was a real founder. He was a real founder of British power in India. So he played a very important role in Carnatic wars, particularly in order to capture of Arcot. ಈಗ ಚಂದಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್, ಡ್ಯೂಕ್ಲೆ, ಮುಜಾಫರ್ ಜಂಗ್ ಇವ್ರು ಮೂವರು ತಿರುಚನಾಪಳ್ಳಿ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಮಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಅಲಿಯನ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ರಾಬರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೈವ್ he made a plan of capturing Hyderabad. Knowing that the Nizam he returned to Hyderabad. ಯಾವಾಗ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ, ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ತಿರುಚನಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ರಾಬರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೈವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ, ಈ ಮೇಡ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ದಿ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಈ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಡಿಫೀಟೆಡ್ Chanda Sahib and the French army. Due to the Carnatic war, British and French companies they got absolute political power in India. So So he played a very important role in Carnatic War, particularly in order to capturing of Arcot. So he was successful in order to create the British power in South India. So he was an instrumental for the victory of British in Battle of Plassey in 1757. The Battle of Plassey that took place, in that battle he played a very important role. So later, as a result of Battle of Plassey, he has to secure a more wealth and he returned to England and he became a member of Parliament. At that time there are many cases against Robert Clive. So who was Robert Clive? He is an ordinary clerk in English East India Company. He was a real founder of British power in India. He played a very important role in Carnatic War in order to capturing of Arcot. So later he was responsible for the victory of Battle of Plassey. After the Battle of Plassey, he got amazing wealth. He returned to England and he became a member of Parliament. There are many cases against him. But in the absence of Robert Clive, the company get lost. So economically, politically, background of the company, East India Company, became weak. At that time, the government of England appointed him as the governor of Bengal. So Robert Clive came to India as a governor of Bengal. He was appointed as the governor of Bengal. He was the first British governor. Robert Clive, he was the governor of Bengal. When he came, he was appointed as a governor. He introduced the dual government. So in this way, Robert Clive played a very important role in order to achieve the supremacy of British in India. Clive was a real founder of Portuguese rule in India. So he came to India as a clerk in East India Company. And later he occupies the various posts in a company. And later he became the governor of Bengal. He played a very important role in Carnatic War as well as the Battle of Plassey. Then Duke Clive. Like Robert Clive, Duke Clive, one of the French Governor General. Duke Clive, French Governor General. So in 1742, Duke Clive came to India as a Governor General. Duke Clive came to India as a Governor General. He was a very ambitious person. He wanted to create a French Empire in India. He has a dream of achieving French Empire in India. So he has made treaties with the native rulers, particularly Hyderabad, Tipu and others. So later the British that are considered that Duke Clive was their strongest enemy in India. He has to make many clashes with the British. He came to India as a Governor General in 1742. He has a dream of achieving French Empire or creating French Empire in India. He was a ambitious, well-talented politician. Both Robert Clive and Duke Clive was a well-talented politicians. So he made treaties with the native rulers of India, particularly Hyderabad. He has given military training to Bengalese army. This increased the enmity with British. The British then considered that Duke was their strongest enemy. So it resulted many clash with British and French company for their supremacy. The ambition of Duke it resulted Carnatic War. It played a very important role in First and Second Carnatic Wars. Under the leadership of Duke in First Carnatic, the French got victory. In a Second Carnatic, both British and French got victories. But during the time of Third Carnatic